These prospects have been flying under the radar all year. It's time we gave them a spotlight. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Seat Radio. My name is Corbin, and I am done talking about this big league team for a while, at least for the most part. We are going to cover one big league item in this video, but man, they flat out do not deserve it after what they did yesterday against the Toronto Blue Jays. However, there are some players in this Red Sox system that absolutely do deserve to be talked about, and just this week, two of them got a promotion one step closer towards Major League Baseball. So we are going to do in today's videos, we're going to talk about these guys, what they've been doing this season, why they got promoted, and what this means for the Boston Red Sox. Plus, at the end, we're going to talk about a call-up that the Red Sox made that could have some impact on the 2024 team. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. Let's get into it. The first prospect that we are going to be talking about in today's video is actually a prospect that we should be all pretty familiar with if you've been on this channel for a little bit now, and that is Hunter Dobbins, who was actually one of the first players that I ever interviewed on this channel. If you remember him over the offseason, he came on to talk about what he's trying to do coming into 2024, and boy, did he succeed. Recently, because of this success, he has been promoted up to AAA Worcester. Now, I gotta tell you, he has been flat dominating in AA this season because over 105 innings at the AA level, he had a 3.17 ERA with a 2.96 FIP. He was striking out about 22.5% of the batters he faced, which is right around league average if we're looking at MLB rates. He was walking 8.9% of the batters he's faced, which would be a very tiny bit over league average in MLB standards, which ends up being a really solid ratio of 2.5 strikeouts for every walk he's given up. But there is one statistic that has really stood out in Hunter Dobbins' 2024 campaign so far, and that is the fact that this dude is fantastic at keeping the ball in the yard. In fact, over those 105 innings, Hunter Dobbins has given up just one singular home run. That is not easy to do, especially at the AA level, which we talk about all the time, because AA outside of Major League Baseball is probably where you're going to see the most up-and-coming talent. That's where a lot of the top 100 prospects in Major League Baseball reside, and so far this year, Hunter Dobbins has been able to keep basically every single one of them outside of one dude completely at bay. That is a really impressive feat, and over 105 innings, that's not exactly a fluke. Hunter Dobbins is doing something right here that is keeping the baseball in the yard, and there are a couple of things that could be contributing to that. The first one is that because he's pounding the zone with strikes, in his 1,644 pitches this season, 1,073 of them have been for strikes. That is a strike percentage of 65.3% on the year. Another reason this could be happening is because Hunter Dobbins has been increasing his velocity steadily since joining the Red Sox organization. This season, it's really reached a whole new level. He is topping out around 99 miles an hour on the year. One big contributing factor to that is the fact that he left last year at 185 pounds and came into this season at 210 pounds. That is about 25 pounds of pure muscle Hunter Dobbins added this offseason, mentioning that that was a goal for him. He wanted to increase his velocity, and he knew that part of that was going to have to be getting bigger and stronger on the mound. It could also be the fact that this season he's really focused on changing his pitch shapes, with his sweeper now reaching up to 20 inches of movement and his splitter really taking off in a big way. He added more run to this pitch and also added a bit more control. He could throw it a much better and much more targeted around the strike zone, and that has led to an opponent batting average of just 161 on pitches against righties this season. Most likely, it is a combination of all the hard work that Hunter Dobbins has been able to really improve this offseason that has made Hunter Dobbins one of the more underrated prospects in the Red Sox system and a well-deserving prospect of a promotion. Now, what does this mean for the Boston Red Sox? Corbin, he's only one step away. Could we see him this season? I would guess probably not. Hunter Dobbins' promotion to AAA, to me, is more just simply getting him ready for 2025, getting him a cup of coffee in AAA, because he's not going to be able to make a ton of starts to the AAA level. There are about 3-ish weeks left of the AAA season, and so for Hunter, this is more about just getting himself accustomed to a new team, a new city, and a new level of pitching so that he's ready to go for 2025. And if you aren't paying attention to Hunter Dobbins yet, I highly recommend doing so because 2025 could be a really big year for him. Once he gets to the AAA level and settles in a little bit, then it just becomes simply a timing thing as to when the Red Sox bring him up. He is a Rule 5 draft pick this offseason, so the Red Sox are going to have a pretty big discussion as to what they want to do with him in the future. Is this a guy that they are looking to move on from? Is this a guy that they are willing to take a risk on? Or is this more than likely a guy that they are going to be adding to the 40-man roster this winter who could make an impact in 2025? This could be a guy who comes up as either a back-end rotational piece or as a high-leverage reliever. Either way, Hunter Dobbins has been absolutely killing it this season and absolutely deserves a spotlight in this video, but he's not the only one who had a really big season so far that people aren't talking about a ton, who's now another step closer. So let's break down another promotion. But before we get into that, do me a favor, make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. Helps these videos out a ton. It's the best way you can let me know you're enjoying the content we are putting out. Thank you all very much for taking a second and doing so. Let's get into the second part of this video. The other name that we need to be paying attention to that was recently promoted is one Mikey Romero. Just a couple of days ago, Mikey was promoted from high A to double A baseball, and he is having one hell of a comeback season because so far this year, the 20-year-old former first-round draft pick had a 271 average with a 319 on base percentage and a 498 slug, good for a 126 WRC plus, 26% better than the average hitter in high A baseball. But over the last 2 months, he has really exploded in high A. Since July 1st, Mikey has a 328 average with a 371 on base percentage and a 641 slug, good for a 175 WRC plus, 75% better than the average hitter in high A. On top of that, his power has really started to come through in these games. During that two-month time frame, he also has 8 home runs, 14 doubles, and a triple. That is a massive improvement over his first 2 years in the system, where combined between 22 and 23, he had 1 home run and 12 doubles in 56 games. This is the Mikey Romero that we knew was in there when he was drafted in the first round by the Boston Red Sox. And the biggest reason for this success is something we've already talked about on this channel, and that is just simply his ability to stay on the field. Last season was a rough one for Mikey because he just simply could not stay healthy. There were a couple of issues that kept him off the field for a majority of the season last year, and when on the field, it was essentially just trying to get himself right at the plate, which led to much lower production numbers than we were expecting from the 19-year-old. This season, he has been able to stay healthy for the most part this season. He did start a little bit later because he was continuing his rehab from last year, and he did spend, I would say, about a week or so on the IL right before his promotion to AA, but outside of that, you're talking about a fully healthy Mikey Romero, and this is exactly what we are going to see. The talent has been there this entire time. It's just simply been a matter of whether or not he can actually stay on the field, and this season, he's proving exactly what he can do when he can stay on the field. Now, in terms of what this means for the 2024 Red Sox, it means absolutely nothing, right? Mikey is going from high A to AA. He will not be making an impact at the big league level this season, but like Hunter Dobbins, it's setting Mikey Romero up for a really interesting 2025. He'll be in the AA level starting next year for the 2025 season at 21 years old. To me, this is a really smart move by the Boston Red Sox because, again, we talk about it a lot. The jump from high A to AA is probably the second biggest jump you are going to make in terms of competition in the minor league system before you get to Major League Baseball. And so there's probably going to be an adjustment period there. Getting that adjustment period out of the way in 24 so that you come into 2025 fully healthy, ready to go, and acclimated to the level that you're at feels like a really smart move. If he could continue to hit the way he's hitting in high A at the AA level for most of the season next year, you're talking about finishing 2025 with Mikey Romero knocking on the door of the big league club. And I do think that is entirely possible, mostly because, again, you talk about just the pure talent Mikey Romero has. This is a guy who was getting comparisons to Marcelo Meyer when he was drafted drafted by the Boston Red Sox. He was getting comparisons to a lot of big names in Major League Baseball as well, and you're starting to see why. That power and that contact ability is way above the talent at the high A level, and I think it will continue to be well above at the double A level as well. For him, it's just simply a matter of staying healthy, but man, this is a dude that you should absolutely circle when you're talking about prospects for the next couple of years, because as guys at the top of this team's prospect list start to graduate towards Major League Baseball, there's a very legitimate chance Mikey Romero becomes one of the top prospects in the Red Sox system. If he continues to do this into next season, I could see him start popping up on some top 100 prospect lists as well, and it'll all be really well deserved. And to be honest with you, both of these promotions were unbelievably deserved, right? These are guys who have been fighting basically since they got into the system, whether that be to make a name for themselves in terms of Hunter Dobbins or to prove that they can be the player that the Red Sox expected them to be in Mikey Romero. This season has been an absolute success for both of these guys. But we do have one more thing we need to cover in this video, and that is one of the Red Sox veteran arms is being promoted to Major League Baseball. I use the term promoted real loosely in this situation because it's not really a promotion, it's more of an activation. That is that just a couple of minutes ago, actually, as I'm recording this, Rich Hill has been activated by the Boston Red Sox. Now, I don't have the exact move that the Red Sox are making to get him onto the 26-man big league roster. My guess is it would probably be either an option or DFA of Brad Keller. I can't remember if Rich Hill is on the 40-man roster, but I would make a pretty good assumption that it's going to be Brad Keller one way or the other, and I guess this means the return of Dick Mountain to the Boston Red Sox. Yay, right? This is, I don't know what to make of this. Last season, like we talked about when he first got signed, he had a 5.41 ERA, a bit lower, 4.87 FIP, certainly not great, a 1.524 WHIP, and an 81 ERA plus, about 19% below league average production at the Major League level this season. He did get one appearance with the Worcester Red Sox before getting this promotion towards Major League Baseball. Again, I got to stop saying promotions or even call up. It's basically just activating him on the roster. But either way, in that appearance, he went 2 innings, no hits, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. My guess in terms of his role on the big league club once he gets here is probably as a long reliever or a guy who can make spot starts here or there. I don't know what this is going to do to the Red Sox pitching staff, right? I don't think this is the magic sauce that they've been missing, the guy who's going to completely turn this season around for them. What do I know, right? What do I know? Maybe Rich Hill will be the guy who comes up here and is the magic glue that the Red Sox have been missing. I think at this point, it's just simply the Red Sox need someone who's not completely burnt out. Rich Hill isn't completely burnt out. He was hitting, I think it was like 86.7 miles an hour was his fastest pitch in AAA during his appearances this year. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays at the Major League level. But Rich Hill, Dick Mountain will be returning for, I believe, his 7th time with the Boston Red Sox starting today. Just wanted to keep you guys updated. Again, we're not talking about this Major League team right now. We're putting them in timeout because, boy, do they deserve it. A lot has happened for the Red Sox in their system over the last couple of days, so let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think about it? What do you think about the latest promotions? Which one of those guys do you believe could have the biggest impact on the Boston Red Sox? And what do you think about the return of Rich Hill? Let me know all your thoughts on the latest Red Sox news in the comment section down below. As always, if you made it to the end of this video, do me a favor. Make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. Just helps out a ton. It's the best way you can let me know you're enjoying the content. Don't forget, if you want to listen instead of watch these videos, all you got to do is head over to your favorite podcasting app and look up Red Seat Radio. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one, and I will see you in the red seats.